you gotta get up. Trust yourself, you gotta be tough, yeah. Hey, how you doing? Tell me something about you.
Welcome to another episode of Jillin Off, a podcast with two women that are fucking themselves so hard in multiple different ways. Not particularly proud of it. I am one of your hosts, Christina Walkinshaw.
That was a very strong opening.
I told you I started making notes in my phone.
Oh, Christina's angry. I'm Jen Murphy, your other host.
And here we are.
I'm usually the angry one. Oh my God, we're switching.
I feel like I'm not fucking myself. I feel like I'm getting fucked right now, but it's okay.
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I mean, The audience probably thought you were at home like hurting yourself physically. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, usually fucking yourself is fine. It's a fun time. It's the best 5 minutes of the day.
Yes, but it's not good when a rich man is fucking you over. Let's just talk about it. Howie Mandel. Douchebag.
Howie Mandel and ICM have bought Just for Laughs. And when that first happened, we already kind of knew as Canadian comics that we were probably in trouble, because Just for Laughs has been one of the best things about being a Canadian comic, you know what I mean? Where, finally we would get showcased and we would be seen. And, but everything seemed to still be okay up until a couple days ago when it was announced that Just for Laughs is going to take over Canada Laughs station on XM Sirius Radio. And that's where I usually get all my play, and I make Sound Exchange money. Full disclosure, I make like $2,000 a month in royalties, and it's the only exposure I feel like I get.
Yeah.
I don't know. You saw how many people came to our comedy pop-up show for me last week.
I mean,
it was
you are very
party
popular.
of one. Party of one. My fan base in America, very small, but I get a lot of exposure.
I think for people who might not know how it works, we don't make a lot of money, but Christina, if they play your content on SiriusXM, which they played a lot in Canada for Christina, she would make a lot of money. But Howie Mandel and other bigwigs went in and bought up the station where they play her stuff and got rid of all the Canadian comics, just wiped them out so that they won't make any money. And all they're doing is playing their own content.
So yeah,
so that Howie will get richer.
Howie is on the radio all the time now.
He's taking Christina's money.
He is taking.
I've never had a problem with him before, but now I hate him.
How am I ever going to go to yoga again? He's taking money from it's like the last great thing about Canadian entertainment was having this exposure on Canada Laughs Radio. Also, it's important to know that Just for Laughs gets hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in funding from the Canadian government to produce Canadian content. And then it's cool that the festival is brings people from all across the world and makes it such I've been and I've performed there before and I love it. There's nothing I loved more. And now it's just it's just the guy you had a crush on fucking everybody, just fucking you over so hard.
It's so bad. It's really bad. Sorry, this is the most serious we've gotten on our podcast.
I don't want to be.
But guys, you don't realize if Christina's not happy, neither is her tea kettle. She cannot be jilling off under this much pressure.
Dude, I feel like I have to
And if she doesn't jill off, we don't have a podcast. We're all counting on you, Christina.
I know, it's true. I have to get happy again so I can get happy again. Do you know what I mean? Didn't
you say you jilled up to a sad song today? Was it
that song? Sometimes I just leave my iPod on shuffle. I say iPod, but you know what I mean. I have my 8-track machine playing my hits.
Howie Mandel stole her iPhone too. She's got to go back to an iPod.
Howie Mandel stole my apartment. Howie Mandel stole my jacket.
What was the song?
Oh yeah, but it's just random. Sometimes when you just play music when you're jilling off, I like to chill off right after I get out of the shower. That's my jillin' time. And then I just hit play on my little player, and then Pink's "Fucking Perfect" came on, and I was like, yeah, you know what? That's a good chillin' song.
I feel like it is. It's what's the word I'm looking for?
Pretty please. Don't you ever feel like you're less than?
It's a self-empowerment.
Yeah, no, Pink has a lot of empowering songs. I feel like Pink is a good one to chill off to.
I think it's really interesting that in so many things that you've told me on this podcast, you don't seem to care that much about cleanliness, but for some reason you feel the need to totally wash yourself before you're going to
I for sure am probably cleaner when I masturbate than I am when I fuck dudes.
All right.
It's true. I'm just saying.
If you'd like to talk to Christina, you can email us at jillinoffpod@gmail.com. Now, there's a lot of guys out there who probably have a fetish for dirty
Well, here's what
Girls.
it is. It's pheromones.
Dirty girls.
No, it's pheromones. When you go to the bar and you feel gross and you didn't shower and you're like, oh, no guy's going to talk to me, that's when everybody talks to
Like
you.
an animalistic kind of. You're right. You do have the pheromones. That's
Pheromones.
true.
If I go to the bar and I look fresh and I'm wearing polka dots, nobody fucking talks to me.
Maybe that's my problem. I shower like twice a day.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely driving people away.
I
That's not
am.
good. You need to be a little stenchy if you really want to attract some dudes.
My hair is too shiny.
No, yeah, get rid of it. No more shiny hair. Go a little bit gross. Let the deodorant kind of wear off. Get to the bar after you swiped your pits like 7 hours ago. Just when it's starting to wear off. You need a little natural odor. Even if I go to the bar sometimes after yoga and I haven't showered, but I'm like, let's say it wasn't a very intense class or it wasn't a hot class.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say,
this
if it was
isn't
hot
that
yoga,
gross.
that's nice.
Yeah. If you're not that gross and you go out after a workout, I swear to God, more people talk to me in
It's
that
a
moment.
very interesting little experiment you've done.
Yeah.
I feel like right now, I would just want to hit on any dude that smelled like Korean barbecue.
Yes.
We were in Koreatown and we just got here an hour early and walked around, and the smells are amazing. We're looking for maybe a bar to have a pre-drink, and turns out Koreans don't like bars.
Well, they don't. I feel like none of the bars open till 5 o'clock.
Yeah, nothing opens till 5 because apparently they only like people that work 9 to 5 and don't get off a minute earlier.
Well, I guess they're pretty smart because they know that the drinking market doesn't really open until 5 p.m. Unless you're a comedian, and then we're ready when we wake up sometimes. But
They don't want their waitresses sitting around rolling napkins for.
honestly, that was my life for many years.
That was my favorite part of waitressing. You just sit and relax. People would be like, "Oh, I'll help you." I'm like, "I'm good." Just
No,
sit and roll.
Yeah, side duties. I definitely liked roll-ups the best. Like rolling cutlery was the best. I hated polishing cutlery, particularly the spoons. The spoons seemed harder to polish.
Well, that's work.
You had to get more in there, but doing roll-ups were fine.
That
was
takes
fine.
biceps.
Also, speaking of manifesting stuff, do you remember last week when I said, oh, sometimes when like the host forgets your name and then they just look at you on the side of the stage and they're like, oh man, your next come on stage, yeah, please make some noise for her. Oh, crap, I forgot her name.
That happened at Comedy Pop-Up?
Yes, it did.
I was wondering why Paul started laughing so much.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
if you're the host, you got to take it written down on a piece of paper.
You know what? Honestly, it goes back to Canadian entertainment and we'll get you nowhere. Nobody will know your name. Yeah. And so, yeah, he forgot my name as he was bringing me
Oh,
up.
I did think he was a good host, too. Wait, what did he
Oh,
say?
he was so charming, but and I don't care, honestly. I'm like, as long as I'm going to go up, I'm going to tell jokes. As long
Did he
as
just say, this girl?
it was like exactly, he just owned it. He was like, oh, I forgot her name. So it wasn't the usual, please welcome on stage, blah, 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 blah. It was just like, oh God, I forgot her name. But let's bring her up here. Like that kind of moment. But it was funny because then after the show, I go up to Paul and I'm like, because, we talk about, I like to talk about manifesting things. And if you talk about things, they're going to become real. But that day on the podcast or the day before, I brought it up. I was like, oh, when hosts forget your name?
That is so funny.
And then it came true.
oh, no.
In
Does this
case-
mean I'm going to meet a man that smells like Korean barbecue when I leave?
Oh my
here?
God. Yeah, actually, now that you put it out there, you're going home with a sweet smell of hickory tonight.
I better hang out around Koreatown after this.
I actually prefer sweet barbecue sauce over like hickory smoky barbecue sauce. And I like spicy, but for some reason with barbecue, I like it a little sweeter than Chipotle-ish.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, that's my story. Yeah. By the way, my name is Christina Walkinshaw, if you're listening. I'm just going to re-say my name over and over again until I get my green card.
I mean, honestly, who does not bring a list up if you're hosting?
I know, but I do have a tricky last name. It seems intimidating, even though I'm always like, it's Walkinshaw, like walk like the action,
It's very
in like the
phonetically-
preposition, Shaw like the Shawshank Redemption.
It's-
Walk in Shaw.
It's very phonetically spelled out, too.
It really is.
You can't really mess it up if you're good at the English language.
Yeah, but it still, I think it looks long. My first name's long, my last name's long. If you look at it on a piece of paper, it seems a little
I
intimidating.
bet he brought up a piece of paper for the first 5 comics, and then he got cocky. He's like, I got this.
I know.
I'm a professional. It was a really fun show, though.
It was
a show sponsored by the Comedy Pop-Up, this network that you're listening to.
It was a super fun show. I was at the dojo twice in a row that week. I did a show the next night too. And it was also very fun.
You are very popular.
Nope, those are my only 2 shows for 2 weeks. That's it. If anybody wants to go to happy hour for the rest of the week, I'm available.
I'm not available, unfortunately. I have to go to Fresno.
Whoa.
I know. It's pretty exciting.
Fresno, Bakersfield, your career's on fire.
I am on fire.
So good.
I did have a good weekend this past weekend at the San Luis Obispo Comedy Festival.
Tell us more about Slow. That's what the kids call it, you guys. Slow. San
Slow.
Luis Obispo.
It was lovely. Festivals are always fun. There's always some people that are just drunk the whole weekend. It always makes for entertainment.
Yep. Who was the drunkest?
Well, I don't want to call him out, but Brett Riley.
Nobody's listening.
We all made fun of him because he kept getting so drunk, and then he would call his wife and be like, I lost my key. And then she would get mad at him for being drunk, and we'd all be like, why are you calling your wife? You're away from your family. He has like a wife and 2 kids.
And to let your wife know that you're drunk.
So he was already upset that he lost his key, and then he'd be like, my wife is mad at me. And we're like, stop. Give us your phone. What are you doing? It was really fun. There was a lot of funny people. I met a really cute guy named Irish Dave, really from Ireland.
Irish Dave. He's a comic?
His name's Dave something, but he's from Ireland. I'm not going to say his last name. I know it, but I don't want. He might be married. I have no, he's not. I'm kidding. He's very cute. I feel like I haven't seen anyone that I thought was cute in a long time, and I don't know if it's my age.
Do you think that crushes are going away as we get older?
I don't know if they're going away or if I just don't care. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I feel like I used to like meet people and get little small crushes, and I haven't had a crush in like years.
I said that to Melissa, I don't know, like a year ago. I was like, you know, when I date people, I'd be like, yeah, he's okay. It's fine. But I'm not, I don't know. And then I said that to her. I go, do you think we're too old to have crushes anymore? And then she just went, that's the most depressing thing ever.
It is.
But maybe we just don't fall like we used to. Maybe we don't meet a guy and go, oh my God, he's so awesome. He's so cute. Maybe now we're like, well, I'm going to go home and Jill off. Like, which
I know. I can't tell if it's just me or, I mean, it doesn't make me feel better to hear you say that because I don't want it to be totally true, but it makes me feel better in a little way.
I know.
I also am starting to wonder if I just turn people off like right away.
No.
Because I've noticed when I do talk to someone that I think is attractive, I get very nervous and I giggle like I'm like in high school. And I wonder if they're thinking like, why is this like 40-year-old woman like acting like a child? No. Like I wonder if it's a turn off.
No. I think
but you know how confidence is a turn on. So maybe like nervous insecurity is a turn off.
I don't know. I still think that being nervous is endearing.
It's probably me, guys. Let's face it.
Oh, no. I think you're too sensitive. I
can't believe you said the same thing, though.
I know. It's true, though. It's true, though. I feel like
my God.
are over.
That is so funny you would say that because The Breakfast Club was on cable. Good, Bert.
Thank you.
I don't know if you're a fan of The Breakfast Club. I grew up on it. I know like every line. But there's one line that Ali Sheedy says where they're talking about like how their parents are like mean or something. And she starts crying and she goes, that's just what happens. Oh. When you grow up, your heart dies.
Oh. Actually, though.
I actually was just watching and now, because I used to love it as when I was in high school when it first came out. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh my God, I think she might be right.
It's true. Even people that are in relationships seem to only like their children and their dogs.
Okay, but what about people that end up getting married in their late 40s? Do you think they're just like settling down? No, I mean, I'm sure they love the person, but do you think it's more like they found a great roommate rather than like you fall like super hard deep?
I mean, I do kind of agree with that roommate thing, but I also think that like a lot of people getting married in their late 40s, probably second marriage. Right? Maybe third, maybe fourth. It's LA. But
what if it was their first? Like me, hopefully.
I would
someday.
love that. I wouldn't even want to get married till here's what I think. I think they shouldn't get married. I think that
like
marriage
52.
No, I think that marriage should be done at retirement. I think that we should retire our dating lives at the same time we retire our work jobs. We have all the time in the world to like now date and get to know one another. Oh, yeah, we call it.
That is so funny.
That's
a really good idea.
Yeah. So now the norm is not getting married at like 27, 28. The norm is getting married at like 60, 65. You know, so like, you know, there's like a new menu at Denny's and it's not for seniors. It's for married people, but it's the same thing. And I remember saying that once on a date, like years ago in Toronto. And it's a guy I actually went out with maybe like 3 or 4 times that I met off Tinder. But he was interesting. We were getting along. And then for sure I said that. I'm like, I think maybe we should like, I don't know, push marriage back a little further in life. Like maybe when instead of getting retired, we get married, you know? And then he never called again. Typical Virgo.
You're like, whatever, dude. I met you on Tinder. All right, this isn't eHarmony where people are looking for love.
Exactly. But you know, the Virgos are nice, and they probably want like a traditional, nice, quality relationship. And he probably did want to get married.
Speaking of looking for love,
oh, look who just came in!
There's a hot man that just walked in.
He's ready to propose. Can you propose to both of us?
Toby Hicks.
Yeah, we're both single.
Used to wise.
Oh man, he's putting on chapstick though, so clearly we must have some sort of influence. Yeah, so
It's always good to keep your lips luscious.
right? I have another Jillin off game. Okay, so this is kind of like beat the kettle. Only I don't know what to call this one. But
You should work
ever?
for a network. You're coming up with games left and right.
But all my games are only about masturbating. Okay, so have you ever been out with somebody who talks so much that you can't get a word in edgewise?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It gives me massive anxiety.
it's a lot, right? So I was out with a friend at a bar, and this girl kept on talking, and I was just like, I wonder if I'm ever going to get a word in edgewise. And then I went into my own planet in my head, and I was like, this would be like a good beat the kettle game, but it'd be like beat the narcissist talking game. Like you just start chilling off, and then you see like what happens first. Do you come or does she stop talking?
I mean, I think she would have to start talking if you started masturbating in front of her.
I know this game only works under the idea that you're allowed to masturbate in front of people, which comics have tried in the past. So,
Yes, you wouldn't be the first. It would be a great game though, because you could find out how narcissistic she is. Because if she still just kept talking, you'd be like, "Wow, you win."
what do? I go for double or nothing? Do I keep Jillin?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Does that ever happen to you where you're stuck and you can't get out? And literally, like my heart, I start really getting anxiety where I'm like, I want to run away from this conversation and I can't. It's usually with close talkers too. And you're just like, I can't get out.
I mean, it wasn't really with anybody we particularly knew, just like making small talk at the bar.
Oh, you're not going to call somebody out like I did?
No, she seems so nice, but I don't think she was aware of the fact that she wasn't letting anybody else speak. Do you know what I mean?
She definitely wasn't aware.
On and on and on and on.
There's no self-awareness when you talk that much.
There's not a lot of self-awareness in Los Angeles.
Sometimes I try and tell like a 90-second story and it like 60 seconds. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so boring. I can't continue. How do people do those 15-minute stories?
I don't know. That's why all my jokes are kind of short, because I don't want you guys to have to listen to a story coming out of my mouth. I don't know when the beginning is, the end. I don't know.
But you're still going to keep talking for 45 minutes on stage.
When I get paid, I have to. That's why we do crowd work, just to hear somebody else's voice for 5 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
We have to. But anyways, So with that game called Beat the Narcissist, I don't know.
I'm not really good at crowd work, but I just ask a few questions. Like,
beat the
hey,
super
who's
talker.
married? Where's the single people at?
Oh, I know. Oh, no. Crowd work in itself is hacky. It's like, I don't even know. We are only asking those questions because we're eating time.
Unless you're the amazing Ian Bagg.
Ian Bagg is the best at.
I'm sure he listens to this podcast, so I don't want him to hear us say that crowd work.
Oh my God, I know. He's the funniest. He's amazing at crowd work, but his crowd work goes somewhere. My crowd work.
He is amazing. It's a different level.
Yeah. But my crowd work will be like, hey, where are you from? And then they'll be like, Hamilton. I'll be like, cool. Anyways, my crowd work doesn't really go anywhere.
You like musicals?
Oh yeah, Hamilton's a Canadian city, sorry. But even like at that gig that I did at the winery, I remember being like, I didn't expect anybody to say yes, but I was like, are there any Canadians in the crowd? And then 2 people were like, woo! And then I was like, oh, where are you guys from? And then he was like, Hamilton. And she was like, Saskatoon. And then I was like, cool. And then I went back to doing my material. But had I actually slowed down and like thought about it, I could have been like, see, these Americans know so little about Canada. They probably think those towns are next to each other. And they're not. They're like 3 provinces apart. But
I would have no idea.
no. Anyways,
You also just said like a lot of times.
I said what?
Like.
Oh, oops. Well,
It's my new obsession.
breaking down the
I think
likes.
I've been listening to too many podcasts, and I can't stop hearing every time somebody says like.
Oh no! Do you think that's just like a generational thing of like
Twice.
when I grew up? I grew up in the 90s and girls did say like all the time.
I know. No, all of us are guilty of it.
Trust me, I wish
It's not just you.
I wish I was smarter.
No, it's not. It's not an intelligence thing. It's become just part of our verbiage.
part of our conversation skills.
Yeah.
What if I tried to go a whole day without saying the word like? Do you think I could do it?
What would be harder, not saying like or not Jillin for a whole day?
Oh, not saying like for sure. I could go a day without Jillin. Believe it or not, people. Thank you very much. But that would be a good bet. It would be like the new indecent proposal. Like, I bet $1 million that you can't go a day without saying like. I'd probably lose. How about you? Could you do it?
Yeah, but this would be the problem too. Would you have to constantly be engaged in conversation for this contest?
Well,
or could you just have a normal day where maybe you're alone and spend the whole day in your apartment? So it would be a lot easier not to do
that
it.
would be too easy. You'd have
Well,
to be...
I'm just saying. Is there going to be guidelines? Is somebody have to follow you around all day and make sure?
Yes, I think you'd have to be out for... Let's say you'd have to be out for like 14 hours of the day. This would be like whatever the women do when they're fasting or whatever. Like the diet. What's that diet?
Did you say fasting?
Fasting. You know,
Oh.
like 14 hour. Don't you have to like go 14
My
hours?
ears heard fasting, and I was like, is that something I don't know?
I meant to say fasting.
No, I think it was just me.
My F turned into a V. I'll tell you what. Cheers. Oopsies.
Oops, I need more wine.
Oh my God. When your F's move to V's. The FV swap up. Oopsies.
Our Fs have turned to Vs.
Anyways.
I thought of you today because I was reading the news, and there's a new beer flavor coming out, this brewery in New Hampshire, and it's Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charm flavored beer.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You just said you'd prefer sweet barbecue. Why not sweet beer?
Because it's different with food than it is with my.
I just yelled. I did,
with
right?
beer.
Am I yelling?
You know how drunk girls get louder and louder? We have to move further and further away from the microphone as we keep drinking. We don't go back here.
Anytime there's something in front of my face,
But I like hoppy beers. I like hoppy beers, not sweet. Even the sours, I can't really drink. I'm like, might be cute for like a couple, like on a flight. Maybe I could have.
I was just gonna say a taste of it because I was performing at a brewery recently and they had a peanut butter one. I'm like, I have to try it.
Oh, see,
It was so good, but only for 2 sips.
Yeah. I don't want to go, I don't need crazy flavors. My favorite, I like session IPAs. I want hoppy, but I want low alcohol content. So I like a Wolf Pup, like the Golden Road one, Wolf Pup. That's good. I like Mango Even Keel from Ballast Point. I like Easy Jack by Firestone. I like hoppy, but lighter in alcohol content. Like I want a Coors Light for a craft beer nerd.
You just named a lot of beers that I've never heard of.
Oh my God. And what's sad is I feel like not enough breweries actually carry session IPAs. They're all like, oh, we're only going to carry these super strong IPAs. But I'm like, that doesn't really help anybody because people have like 2 IPAs and then they're ready for bed. Double IPAs, now they're like 9%
Are they really
beers.
strong?
They're super strong. And I promise you, like you might feel good after 1, but after 2, you're going to be ready for bed.
What's the name of the beer version of a sommelier? Because I feel like that's you.
I mean, I call myself a craft beer nerd, but you're right. We need a sommelier style word for my craft beer nerdness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be a new career.
A beeralio? I don't know. A beerio, sommelier, a beerallier. I don't know.
Beer rally.
I'm trying to go sommelier, but like with beer. Beerallier. How about a
Where did that word come from?
Bellurier?
Okay, now I'm trying not to say like, and it really is harder than it seems.
I know. But I probably...
I'm going to stop trying because now I'm constantly thinking.
Oh, now I'm waiting for you to say it.
I've said it 100 times, but you just haven't noticed.
I know I won't notice.
All right, let's not forget about it. That is like, we've tuned into this podcast to hear you talking about masturbating, not verbiage.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like if you're not writing, you're not putting people in quotations, right? So you're always saying, and then I was like, then they were like, do you know what I mean? Like is almost quotation marks, right?
It's kind of also the same as when people go, so I did a little bit, maybe? No. Okay, forget what I just said. Can we cut that out?
No, we don't edit this podcast. You get us being as wise or lost as we seem. I don't care.
Really bad. Let me see if I have anything else.
Oh, look, did I just miss another call from Scam Likely? Scam Likely is my new boyfriend.
Scam Likely?
Scam Likely calls me like 6 times a day.
You have credit card debt?
No, not in this fucking country, at least.
Who's calling you then? The only ones I get called from every day are like if I owe money to Verizon or something.
No, a lot of them are. There's a new one that I actually looked up, and then I went online and I watched YouTube. But there's like a company that's calling you, being like, "Fuck, I just said it."
I'm so sorry I ever brought it up.
But again, I'm putting them in quotation. Again, my like is quotation marks. That's all. If I didn't have to speak for other people, I would never have to say like, unless I liked something and not loved it. So no, a lot of them are calling, and I'm gonna have to say it. Don't judge me. And then they'll be like, "Hi, are you looking for new medical coverage?" And whatever. At first, I legitimately thought it was like my health insurance company calling me, and I was concerned. So I kind of picked it up, and they're like, "You're eligible for new coverage and whatever. And this one's only this much money." And then I was like, "I'm sorry, who do you say you were again?" And then I quickly went online and I looked it up, and it's a scam. They're trying to get people to buy this cheap health insurance online. Not online, sorry. They're trying to get over the phone. They're like telemarketing scam artists that are trying to get you to buy cheap health insurance. And I'm getting calls all the time.
If it's a scam, does that mean you don't really get the insurance? They just take your money?
They just take your money. But think about it. You call somebody, it seems like a good deal. They don't have insurance. They're like, fuck, I better do this. But it's all like, that's literally what it's been. And sometimes I'll just like block the number after I get a Scam Likely. But sometimes I'll pick them up because let's not kid ourselves. I got a lot of free time. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm picking up the Scam Likely call because I'm doing jack shit today. I want to talk to these scam artists, see what they have to say. But that's been the one that's been calling a lot lately.
When I get messages,
and you can always tell because sometimes you pick up the phone and you just wait.
Yeah.
You wait for somebody to talk, but they don't because they wait for you to say hi, and then they pick up. Because they probably got like...
If they call when I'm in the car, I just answer, but then put it up to my speaker and just play music for them.
Yeah.
Until they hang up.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
I just like to answer it, but not answer it myself. And then you hear them going,
"See,
Jennifer?
And you could tell because look, the voicemail that they've left, it's 0. It's nothing. And delete. And they're all from Huntington Park, wherever that is.
I think these are just your secret boyfriends.
I wish. Oh my God.
I think it's fans.
Wouldn't that be great?
I'd put your phone number on the website.
Did you?
Yeah. We don't have a website.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm like, I get like 6 Scam Likely calls a day.
I put your phone number in my Instagram stories.
Oh my God.
Call Christina, please. Somebody help us.
Call Christina. And meanwhile, now I'm missing real calls and real voicemails because every number that comes up that's not one I know, now I'm just assuming it's Scam Likely. That's how I missed that woman's call.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I didn't realize there was an actual real caller. I just thought hi, you've been selected, or we are doing a study on this, or can feedback on that. Like, it's just, that's everybody who's phoning me right now.
No, it's a problem.
I know.
We need to fix this.
I know. Well, that's why I just try to put away my phone more. And, this is it. I'll never become, look, see how it actually says Scam Likely? Apple will actually say Scam Likely.
I've never seen that before.
You haven't seen this? Have you got a Scam Likely before? Yeah.
I've never gotten that.
Oh my God. Most of them say Scam Likely now.
I have an Apple phone. I've never got. That's weird.
Oh no.
Actually, though, I'll tell you the truth. I don't get scam calls. I just get like Citibank and Verizon bugging me. That's it.
Oh,
so I guess I'm not getting scammed.
Oh no.
They're real companies.
Oh no.
But they'll bug the shit out of you.
It's very irritating.
Yeah. They'll call like every hour. That's why I don't feel bad about just like answering the phone but not answering it. This is the problem. I pay enough. I pay that I can still keep my service and stuff.
Yeah.
So if I'm not paying, do they really think I'm just like, I don't feel like paying you, dicks? Or are they like, do they think by calling me 17 times that I'm somehow going to magically get the money to pay them that I didn't have before they called me 17 times? Like, how do they think that helps?
That's true.
They have to know that, like, I'm not giving them money because I don't have it yet.
And don't they know women? If you gave us the silent treatment, we would come like running after you. It'd be like, here's $85. I love you.
Like, I don't think anybody that has credit card, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Some people might have credit card debt and then be spending thousands on other stuff. So I guess I take back what I was about to say.
Honestly, there are some people that are bad with money that would rather rack up a credit card and have a lot of money in the bank account still than take that bank account, drown it, and pay off the debt.
Yeah, see, I'm at that age where paying off debt makes me really excited and happy, which is pretty sad.
It makes me happy too, but I'm still doing it at a slow and steady pace.
Oh, mine's at a super slow pace, but it makes me happy when I can do it.
It does. When you feel it go down, you're like, oh, that's great. But I think in LA, we're all under this, like, we're all in this fantasy. We're like, no, I'm going to get this amazing job and I'm going to sell a pilot or I'm going to make it. And then all that debt I racked up, I'm just going to pay off in one swoop. Right? Isn't that the dream?
There's always that dream, yeah.
At this point, I don't even want to become famous. I just want the swoop to pay off the debt. I'm like, great. You know what? Like, no, I don't need any more followers. I don't need any more people discovering that my life's a circus and I'm a moron. And I say like too much. Do you know what I mean? I just want to keep it here, middle class of comedy, like I like to call myself. Just middle class. That's good. Drinking on podcasts, getting lost in Koreatown at 3:30. That's my life. I love it.
We saw a lot of Korean barbecue.
I know. And we didn't even eat.
No, just saw it. Just walked by and smelled.
Just looked at everybody eating. That looks good.
I literally just put my face into the window with that one.
You really did, actually. You're like, this one's open. It's like hands against the glass.
Because I saw food and it looked so good. I was like, look at this.
It really did.
Come smell this food.
It really did, man. Oh, my God.
I think I should give you like a task for the week.
But me?
Yeah.
Remember, I gave you a task today. I was like, we should brainstorm a list of good Jillin off songs, like a soundtrack. Make a playlist of Jillin off jams.
Yeah, I don't usually ever do that to music.
I mean, I always play music because I'm scared. I don't want the neighbors to hear the vibrator, so I like to drown it out.
Oh, is that why you do it?
Absolutely. Not that I think that they would hear. It's not that loud, but
I would still be paranoid with somebody that close to me, though.
like now I'm scared when I use my magic bullet to make a smoothie in the morning that's loud enough that they might think that that's my vibrator.
That is so funny.
Right? Because also my vibrator is called a bullet too.
You
so
should
I could be like, what if they call me like, what's that noise? I'd be like, oh, don't worry, it's just my magic bullet. But
like, Christina's really horny at 8 a.m.
no, I get horny at 2 p.m.
I think now whenever you're making a shake in the morning, you should just talk really loud to yourself and be like, this shake is going to be so good.
And just like make my
spinach,
make my smoothie and play Cyndi Lauper's She Bop. She Bop apparently is really about Jillin off.
That's right. I've heard that before.
Yeah, that's really about Jillin off. I'm going to look up more information about the history of She Bop for next week's episode. In case you want a reason to tune back in next week, Christina Walkinshaw is going to teach you more about She Bop next week.
I feel like the best, if I was going to choose music, I feel like it would be something like Eye of the Tiger or like something from Rocky.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Because I tend to feel like very, like I'm trying to achieve something or like motivated. This is the thing. When I'm by myself, it can be very difficult for me to finish, as they say.
Yes.
Or if I wasn't so prude, I would just say orgasm, but I don't know. So sometimes I start to get in my head that I like I'm accomplishing something, whereas like if I can do this, I can do anything.
If I can finish myself, I can finish a screenplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I think.
Because there is a good feeling from finishing anything. Like even if it's just the dishes. Do you know what I mean? Or if you finish making your bed. I think that there's something in there or out there in a book about successful people, how they make their bed every day. That's because you start your day finishing something.
But I think I get that point, but I also think a lot of the reason if I can't orgasm, it's like a mental block. And then I think I also mental block myself from being successful.
I know.
So I think that's where it comes along.
I think that's a real thing too. And you have to unblock that. You have to say, no, I'm worthy of success and I'm worthy of finishing myself off.
I'm going to say that to myself every day when I wake up.
When you Jill off. I am worthy of finishing this off. Last night, I'll be honest, Oscar Sunday, I came home a little bit tipsy, obviously, because there was lots of champers or whatever at the parties. And I came home and I was like, oh, I couldn't. I was like, do you ever give up? Do you ever like? Yeah. I was almost like that. Only I do feel like I'm deserving of finishing.
Oh, I give up a lot.
Oh, I had to give up. I was like, this is not going to happen. Like,
I definitely give up a lot.
It's hard. It's hard if you've been drinking. Then you're like, this isn't going to happen. I didn't have the patience for it when I was like, I think I'd just rather fall asleep right now. I do it in the morning. That's why I always chill off during nap time.
Really? See, it's harder for me if I'm sober.
What?
Yeah.
That's the easy time. I could be done in half a song. That was half a Pink song today. Pretty, please.
Well, that's why I said it's a mental block, because when I'm sober, I'm thinking too much and I have a mental block.
Then maybe Pink's Fucking Perfect is the Jillin song for you. Because the whole song is like, pretty, please. Don't you ever feel like you're less than perfect. Right? It's like, made a wrong turn once or twice.
I just wanted to have you keep singing.
Oh, no, nobody wants that. I know I'm a bad singer. Yeah. Especially a Pink song. Even a good singer would struggle at a Pink song.
Yeah,
right?
she's good.
That's why I only sing Billy Ocean. I do a really mean get out of my dreams and into my car.
I've never heard anyone do Billy Ocean at karaoke.
That's my favorite karaoke song.
That's a good song.
Especially at the part where it's like, touch my bumper. Yeah, that's good. You can make it. Anyways, sorry. Am I bringing us back a decade as women by being like, touch my bumper? Oh, no.
No. Just ask before you do it.
I just like pat my butt a little bit when I'm acting it out, you know? Oh, yeah. Do I sound very Canadian there when I'm acting it out? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Speaking of me too, I got totally tricked into seeing a dick pic, but I didn't mind.
Oh, cool. What happened?
If I don't really want people sending me dick pics. I don't care, actually. It just makes me laugh. I don't care.
Okay.
I can't really take them seriously.
Oh, yeah. Me neither.
But when you are like really aren't attracted to anyone or don't even care, I think it automatically just becomes even more hilarious. So there was a comic who gave me and this other female a phone. Because he was talking about some girl he hooked up with, and he's like, "Oh, she sent me a nude pic." He's like, "You want to see it?" I'm like, "Sure." And then he gives me the phone, and he goes, "Oh, but don't scroll, because I don't want you to see mine." And you're like, "Of course I'm gonna scroll."
Yeah.
And then the next day when he was drunk, I go, "You purposely showed me your dick." He goes, "I know." I was like, because and he was totally honest. He's like, "I know. I purposely said don't scroll because I know you'd scroll."
You know when somebody's trying to show you a picture on their phone.
I also started cracking up when I saw it. So I'm like, do you think he thought, like, I don't know. I don't hope. I don't care if I hurt his feelings. But I mean, do you think he was like, is that weird if somebody would be... Imagine if you showed somebody a picture of your genitalia and they just start cracking up.
I have no pictures of my genitalia.
The guys have to know that we're going to laugh at the...
We've been laughing at them
pic.
The whole time. That's the thing. A lot of people do that, right? A lot of people will hold their phone kind of close to them, being like, "Oh yeah, let me find that picture." And then all of a sudden they hold the phone closer to their chest because they have an inappropriate picture. And they're like, yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, here." Like, don't scroll. Yeah, that just means that there's pictures of them or of somebody else on their phone. And
well, he wasn't holding it closer. He was purposely trying to.
Is it anybody I know? Probably. That's a yes.
He's from Seattle.
I know lots of people from Seattle. Oh, no. That doesn't help.
I mean, he has a very big penis. His name's Corey.
Oh, I don't think I know.
I don't think he would mind if I said it was big, so.
Oh, man. I hope nobody says that my vagina's big. That's one that doesn't work both ways, eh? Oh, no.
That's one that doesn't work both ways.
No, so much for equality. I ruined it. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
You cracked up Paul. That's so adorable.
I love cracking up Paul. That's
You
what I aim to
win.
do. I win.
Christina wins.
I win.
I'm giving you a homework assignment, Christina.
Oh, yeah. What is it? Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off.
I want you to touch tongues with somebody this weekend.
You know what's so funny is somebody else kind of made this like dare bet with me. Like 2 weeks ago, we went to a bar and she's like, "Okay, we have a bet. Let's see. One of us has to kiss somebody tonight." And I was dancing. I'm not going to lie. I know I'm 40, but I was dancing in a bar and it was extremely fun at Short Spot. It was
this weekend?
This was like 2 weekends ago.
'Cause
But
wait.
she won. She definitely kissed somebody and I did not. I went home at like 12:30.
Because I texted you that when you said you were at a dance club, and then I texted you, I'm like, please make out with somebody.
It
Make
does-
out with a stranger.
It doesn't matter how old you get. It still seems like the goal of being on a dance floor is to like kiss a stranger.
Yeah.
And
Like,
kissing
I'm
is-
not telling you to like have sex with a stranger. I'm like,
No,
just make out
exactly.
with someone.
No, kissing is still great.
It's very innocent.
Kissing is innocent. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. It's exciting. It's good. Yeah, and I haven't made out with anybody since my birthday, which was November, you guys. November. And now what month is it? Yeah, does anybody know? Didn't think
April.
so. Yeah. Can we get a little more Chardonnay in this glass?
It's almost Easter.
It is, right? Is it spring break?
You did do some making out on your birthday, but you're in Vegas. That was cool.
That's a repeat offense, though. That guy I've been making out with for like years. It's just like one of those easy, kind of a friend with benefits, but we're also long distance. So we only see each other when we see each other. But if we're both single, we'll have sex together. And
That's
fun.
perfect.
Oh, I love that stuff. I love the long distance, good platonic friend. And when you meet up in life again and you both happen to be single, you can hook up and that's fun.
He better be listening to this podcast.
I hope he is. I know he doesn't have an iPhone, so he's always very confused. He can't get iTunes. I'm like,
He's always very confused.
oh God. I was like, ugh, that's why I can
Does he
only.
have a BlackBerry?
Oh, probably. It's Maui. They all like to drive like cars from like 20 years ago with rust on the roof.
They're a lot more relaxed. I actually admire him. It's
I
not
do
a bad
too.
Thing. It's not
Like,
a bad thing.
When I go there and I see all the beaters just clunking around the island, I'm like, you know what? Maui's actually doing it right.
They're a lot more relaxed. Yeah.
That's why I have to like message him on Facebook because to get the green texts from him. Actually, I think he did actually just get an iPhone, so maybe he can
I
listen.
guarantee he has no social media stress.
I know, and I'm always jealous of that lifestyle. That's going to be the good thing about going on the cruise. The cruise, we're going to be out on we're not going to have, I think you have to pay a certain amount of money to get Wi-Fi in your room when you're on the cruise, which
pay.
Me neither. I want to be off the grid. I can't wait. March 10th, I'm going to set sail, Norwegian cruise.
Christina, Norwegian Cruise Lines. Look
it.
for her.
Going to the Bahamas. Look me up. Very excited. Very excited. And you're going to be going soon too, but it'll be so
I'm
good
not
to be
till
off the
July,
grid.
but that's okay.
It's going to be crazy because then, I'm going to come back and I'm literally going to be out of the loop. I won't know if anything tragic happens. Like this week, R.I.P. Brody Stevens. Very, very devastating news. But it's things like that. Even Patrick Keane, did you see he posted? He goes, "Oh, I was on a cruise, didn't have any reception." And,
Oh, I didn't see that.
he didn't. Like a lot of people, if you're off the grid and then you just come back and wow, you get like, you get a piece of news like that. Ugh, it's going to be so sad.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Bill Burr said something so funny today. Well, I mean, it was funny, but he started out his Monday morning podcast from yesterday doing a whole thing about Brody. But, he's very positive. So he was just telling all like nice and funny stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was like, God, is this what it happens when you get older? He's like, I swear I keep a list of like comedians that I know that have passed away, and my list is getting so big. He's like, is this what happens? And then he goes, no females on it, though. There's no females. It's like, you females, you complain about not getting enough stage time. At least you're alive. I was at the gym and I started cracking up because the way he said it is like
so funny. No, man, he wins that round. That is very true. I'm very grateful to be alive.
Funny.
Yeah. Oh my God. Augie Smith had a hilarious story too about like being on the road somewhere in Arizona with Brody. Did you read the story?
No.
So he was Arizona.
I did.
And then after the show, he decided to drive with some locals to Nevada to go gamble and drink all night.
Yes.
Then he comes back. He's super hungover in the morning. They go to McDonald's to get breakfast. Augie's like, I was drunk. I was being a dick.
Yes.
I was being a dick at McDonald's ordering my food. And then Brody was like, no, you're not allowed to talk to Teresa like that. You're going to go up to Teresa and you're going to apologize for the way you treated her. And then
He forced him to go apologize to the employee.
And he got the attention of everybody in the McDonald's. He's like, excuse me, everyone. Augie has something to say to Teresa.
I did see that story. That was really good.
Oh, man, there'll be no shortage of amazing stories. I mean, sad, though.
Yeah. He was a good one. He was hilarious. I did a show with him that night before. That's crazy. He was so funny.
Yeah, that's so crazy. You saw him so, like, right before it happened.
I feel like it becomes completely out of somebody's control when they're on a serious medication.
I know. And I often...
Which makes it sad that, like, there's doctors giving people medications that, like, they just don't know.
I mean, I'm definitely for people that want to take drugs to make themselves happy because, oh my God, I want people to enjoy life. But then I'm also a bit of a skeptic because like I'm Canadian and we get like prescribed things as needed, but you guys have a crazy industry of pharmaceuticals in America and you guys have all these commercials for drugs. I don't think we're legally allowed to advertise drugs in Canada, by the way.
Oh, you're not?
No, the only time I see all these commercials for drugs is on American channels. We get a lot of American channels in Canada because we're so close to the South. But we don't see any drugs in Canada on Canadian stations. You don't see advertisements for drugs.
It's an insane thing because he had serious depression and I think bipolar, and those drugs are so strong. And it's so crazy because the side effect is suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's like if this doesn't cure your suicidal thoughts, it causes
suicidal
thoughts.
It's
It's being prescribed to cure that, but then that's what it causes. So it's like it's almost a no-win situation for some people if they.
And this is the only way that I feel like my body can kind of understand what is going on when people are taking these SSRIs and then coming off of them. And I know this is going to be a very trashy example of how I understand, but it's the only one I got. Forget me. In the year 2000, I used to go to raves a lot, right? And I used to do ecstasy, right? I would do E. And I remember this one night, I felt like my pill wasn't working. I went back into the rave and I bought another hit and I took a second hit. And then it was like the first pill hit, the second pill hit later. So I was like super high. Bear in mind, I'm not a depressed person. I'm quite blessed to have, to be healthy in that department. And I mean, I'm super grateful for that. But I had to come down the next day coming off those 2 pills where it was like, I was never really that low to begin with. And then I went super high up with like happiness and like joy. And then coming off those pills, I felt a sadness that was so powerful and so below anything I've ever felt in my whole life. Just like you're fucking with your dopamine and serotonin levels.
Well, that's the thing. MDMA makes all your serotonin go to your brain. That's why you're so happy. And then it all is depleted the next day.
And it's gone. And that's when I think about that moment, I'm like, that's what depression is. Depression's feeling that way every day.
Yeah.
Sadness for no reason.
Yeah. That was another thing Bill Burr said. And then I'll stop with Bill Burr. But
then we'll bring it back to masturbating. Wrap it up, Paul. Don't worry. Sorry, we like to bring it down and bring it up a notch, you know? Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, that was another thing he said where he was like, it's amazing. Like, he was the most positive person that everybody knew.
I know.
And Bill's like, I can't imagine that you have to walk around with that shit going on in your head, and you're like the most positive person that everybody knows.
I think it shows how selfless he was, right?
What I'm basically saying, guys, is when you're done with this podcast, go listen to Bill Burr. He really needs the listeners, so you could really be helping him out. He's struggling.
But I think that just shows how selfless Brody was. Is he probably wanted to send a message out to people that wasn't the message that was in his own head.
Oh yeah, he was amazing. So
right?
Amazing. You know what?
Anyways, more about this on Bill Burr's podcast.
I was about to say something really inappropriate.
You can always say something inappropriate. Our podcast is called Jillin Off.
Let's Jill off to Brody.
Oh, wow.
That is, see, even your face. Oops. We haven't used the bell the whole time.
It's totally cool.
I warned you. The thought in my head was inappropriate.
It's fine. You know what? I don't know what to say. It's only weird because he's dead now, but we could be Jillin Off to live version. Yeah, you're right. Bell. We're going to Saved by the Bell.
Guys, Christina Walkinshaw, Jen Murphy. Please send us an email. We need some things to talk to you guys about. jillinoffpod@gmail.com.
Yes, and we hope you have a great day. And if you're out there right now, maybe you're Jillin Off to us.
Oh, there you go.
Right? Nah, don't Jill. You can find better things to Jill off to. It's fine.
No, they can't. What are you talking about?
Oh, my God.
Jill off to us. Go to Instagram. But make sure you like our pictures before you do it.
Oh, yeah. Please like our photos before you Jill off to them. That means a lot to us.
Paul's like, so you guys done or what? He's got his finger by the button.
Seriously.
We're done.
We're done.